Welcome back. What is this, MMA calculator?
I think it did Attic MMA.
Oh, MMA Attic. Get in our attic.
Welcome back. We are starting off the picks this week with PFL Week 6. We have been solid on PFL cards, not only staying profitable overall, but turning a profit on every individual card as well. Let's keep that streak alive and jump right into the picks. First up at featherweight will be Tyler Diamond versus Brett Johns. Tyler has not been the most active fighter recently, as this will only be his 5th fight in nearly 5 years. That does look to be changing though, as it will be his 3rd fight in the past year. This fight is a short notice rebooking for both fighters, but they were already training for this date. Johns has been through every major organization outside of Asia and has a winning record in each one. This experience wasn't enough to dissuade the model from picking Diamond, so we followed suit and placed a bet on the underdog. Staying at featherweight, we have 2 fighters that we have made wagers on this year. Kai Kamaka is 13-5-1 and on a 4-fight win streak. Pedro Carvalho has a record of 13-9 and is on a 3-fight losing streak. We have been talking about situations like this for the past couple of days, and this fight reinforces that our book underdogs need some sort of limit. The model has this fight as a pick'em, with projected odds for Carvalho at 50.09%. We should not have touched this fight, as is probably true with other fights the model has predicted so close to even. We are currently in discussions about what method to use to limit risk in these situations, and you can expect a strategy change in the near future. Kamaka's vast majority of wins come by decision, while Carvalho is 5-3 when going the distance. Carvalho's advantage is going to come on the ground. The model appears to think that this fight will end up on the ground and will be finished inside the distance, so we made the play on Carvalho. Our first action at welterweight will be on Goti Yamauchi versus Andrei Koreshkov. Here we have 2 very experienced fighters with almost identical records. Yamauchi at 29-6 and Koreshkov at 27-5. This will be Koreshkov's 2nd fight in the PFL, where his first fight was a loss that snapped a 5-fight win streak. Over half of his wins have come by KO TKO, while Yamauchi has only been finished once in his entire career. This happened when MVP destroyed his kneecap 20 seconds into their fight. The books have this nearly even, with a slight preference towards Yamauchi. The model agrees, and so do we, so we placed a bet on Goti. Next up is a battle of undefeated Russians, Murad Ramazanov versus Shamil Musayev. With a record of 12-0, Ramazanov doesn't care how he wins, having a perfect split of KOs, subs, and decision victories. Musayev has 17 wins, with 10 of those coming by KO TKO. The 2 of them only have 1 fight apiece in the PFL, where they each got the finish. With no losses for either of them, it's difficult to speculate how this fight might go, but most of their KO TKOs do come in the first round, so that wouldn't be a bad bet in our eyes. Suspicious side note, for some reason, it appears that Musayev was fighting as both a pro and an amateur from 2014 to 2016. Regardless, the model prefers Musayev, and that's enough for us to make a play. Our next bet also comes in the welterweight division. The final prelim is a matchup between Lorenz Larkin and Alan Dominguez. Lorenz has nearly double the fight experience with a record of 25-8 against Alan's 11-6 record. That experience comes with being 10 years older at 37 and 6 additional years as a pro. The books favor Larkin here, and he has not lost as a favorite since 2017. He did drop his last fight to Andrei Koreshkov. This ended a run of 8 fights with 7 wins and 1 no contest. Dominguez is currently riding a 3-fight win streak, but has never seen action in any major promotion. He and Larkin do not have a single submission win between the 2 of them, so we can expect a striking battle. They both also have nearly perfect split of KO, TKO, and decision wins. Most of Larkin's finishes have come in the first round, while Dominguez has a more even split. The books are showing Lorenz Larkin as a substantial favorite in this fight. Our model, on the other hand, sees more value in age than experience here. This seems like quite the stretch to us, but we are placing a wager on Alan Dominguez. Opening the main card is a featherweight contest between Gabriel Braga and Bubba Jenkins. Braga is 10 years younger and has 7 less years under his belt as an MMA pro. Gabriel has a 13-1 record, with his only loss coming by way of TKO in last year's tournament finale. Bubba is coming in with a 21-8 record, having lost 3 out of his last 5. Both of these guys have more decision victories than any other method, but it is worth noting that 2 of Bubba's 3 recent losses have come by way of TKO or KO. In this same period of time, Braga has finished 2 of his own fights with punches. Realistically, we expect the fight to be a striking battle that goes the distance. Gabriel Braga is a small favorite at the books, and the model believes that it should be more. Our best bets tend to be on book favorites, so we're happy to lay a bet on Braga. On to the co-main event between Logan Storley and Luka Poklet. Both of these guys were originally slated for other bouts, but Logan's opponent pulled out and Poklet was rebooked to fill in. Storley has a 15-3 record with 2 decision losses, and his third coming in his last fight by ground and pound. Poklet is 10-1 as a pro and suffered his only loss in his very first fight. Fun fact, this loss was to Marbek Taisimov, who is now 7-2 in the UFC and was 16-3 when he fought Luka. Luka's record is showing 10 wins by submission, but only 6 of those bouts are listed. This is the second fighter on this card with something suspicious going on with his record. Anyway, Storley has no submission losses on his record, but we may see his first this weekend. Storley does have 9 wins by KO TKO though, so it is possible that we see Poklet lose the fight if he isn't able to get it to the ground. The bookies like Storley in this matchup, and the model doesn't know that Poklet's record is a bit fishy. Luka is projected as a small favorite, and as we always do, we place the bet. PFL 6's main event is between 2 featherweights, Brendan Loughnane and Justin Gonzalez. Loughnane has a record of 28-5, with his last loss coming to the 2023 tournament champion, Jesus Pinedo. He has since recovered and started this season with a first-round TKO against Pedro Carvalho. Gonzalez has much less experience with a record of 14-4, and he is on a 3-fight losing streak. All 4 of his professional losses have come in his last 6 fights. His weakness seems to be losing unanimous decisions, but in his last fight, he suffered a first-round KO loss. Brendan has 11 wins by decision, 9 being unanimous. He does also have 15 KO TKO finishes in his career, including his last time out, which happens to be the same card that Gonzalez was knocked out on. This fight seems very straightforward, and we believe the bookies have it correct. The model, on the other hand, thinks that we will likely see an incredible upset. We would love to finish the night by cashing this ticket, but we aren't holding our breath.
Somehow I managed to lose this part of the recording, so you guys get me for the money breakdowns. We placed 8 wagers on this card, 6 of which are on underdogs. We also have 2 book favorites, but nothing too big, with Gabriel Braga at -155 and Goti Yamauchi just above a pick'em at -120. All of the underdogs kept our risk low at 8.75 units. It also boosted our potential return to 25.15 units. With some miracles, we could profit 16.4 units, but we aren't counting on it. That's all of the betting information that we have for you on this card. If you'd like to see the numbers for the remaining fights, click over to the community tab and check those out. Good luck on all of your PFL bets this week. Thanks as always for watching, and keep an eye on the channel for UFC 303 predictions, which will be dropping soon.